Are you ready for your science exam tomorrow? Oh my goodness, it's on Friday, and I hope you're ready. We're going to be doing a review game to see if you are ready. Um, you're like, a review game? What? Yeah, so take out a piece of paper and put two columns. One side my name, one side your name. We're going to play Big Wheel right now. I have the big wheel on the screen, and I'm going to ask a question. And if you are able to get the correct answer, I'll tell you how many points to add on your side. If you answer incorrectly or don't answer in time, then you need to give me the points, okay? We're not going to go over the days of creation in order because I already made a video on that. I already made a video on the birds, and I also made a video on, well, I told you about the planets. But make sure you know all of those because you will be responsible to know all of those and in order. All right, let's get started. I don't know if I'm going to cover how much I'm going to be able to cover in this video, but I'll try to do a good review for you. Okay. Ready? What is the shape of the Earth? The Earth's shape. If you said equator, you get 4 points. If not, I get the 4 points. Okay, we talked about the spinning motion of the Earth. What is the spinning motion of the Earth referred to? If you said rotation, you get 7 points. Now, if you can't answer these in time and you need a little second, then you could just pause it, try to answer, and then press play, okay? I will accept that. So, rotation. And how long does a rotation take? Do you remember? Hopefully you said a rotation takes 24 hours. Okay, where do we get our seasons from? Where do we get our seasons from? If you said because the Earth is tilted on its axis, you are correct and you would get 1 point. I think it's worth more than 1 point. But this is, the Earth is tilted. If you said the Earth is tilted, it's okay, but you also need to know that it's tilted on the imaginary line, which is the axis. Okay. So we also talked about revolution. How long is the revolution take? How long does it take for the Earth to revolve around the sun? If you said 365 and 1/4 days, you get 4 points. I will accept 365, but you should know it as 365 and 1/4 days. All right, we're into the oceans. Do you know the world's largest ocean? What's the world's largest ocean? If you said Pacific, you get 8 points. The world's, and it's also the world's deepest ocean. Do you know what the world's saltiest ocean is? If you said the Atlantic Ocean, you get 4 points. The warmest ocean. If you said Indian Ocean, 6 points. If not, I get the 6 points. Okay, and the coldest and smallest ocean is Arctic Ocean. Hopefully you got that for 7 points. We also talked about the continents. Do you remember the largest continent? If you do, it's Asia, and it's actually worth 10 points. Woo! All right, that is the largest continent. The only continent where no people live. It is Antarctica, and 7 points. Okay, and we also talked about the Earth, and it's a magnet, and super shape. Okay, now we're getting into the soil and the Earth's layers. Do you remember the decayed material in the soil? The decayed, wow, that's a tongue twister, decayed material in the soil? It is humus or hummus. Remember we said hummus. I wonder if some of you are eating that as a snack. It is 8 points. Okay, so geologists, they're scientists who study the Earth, and we talked about minerals. Remember, it's never man-made, and never once alive, made of exactly the same kinds of atoms, and they're all in an orderly pattern. Okay, rare and costly minerals. What do we call rare and costly minerals? Sorry, my game is malfunctioning. If you said gems, you have 5 points. And oh, it reminds me, we gotta make some crystals when you guys get back for some of you who missed it. Okay, now we have the layers of soil, the one at the top. Remember, we have topsoil, then subsoil, and then the bottom layer is bedrock. And the bedrock makes up the Earth's crust. Do you remember what hot liquid rock is called? If you said magma, you get 4 points. 4 points. And the center of the Earth, what's the center of the Earth referred to? If you said core, 3 points. 3 points. Okay. Ooh, the wearing away of the Earth's topsoil. This one we haven't talked about for a while. The wearing away of the Earth's topsoil. If you said erosion, 2 points. And if not, I get those 2 points. Okay, using nature's resources wisely. This one is also a very hard one. It's conservation. And if you got that, 4 points. If not, I get 4 points. Okay, this is important. Matter that settles to the bottom or the sides of a body of water. Did you say? Because remember, it settles. It is sediment for 7 points. It's funny how that works. Okay, a deposit of land, it's sand of soil. It's usually in a triangular shape. It is delta, and it is worth 1 point. Okay, we talked about the benefits of erosion and different things. Now we're getting into the rocks. We're just doing a quick kind of overview of chapter 7 because it's, you know, exam review. Okay, so the material is made of rock. Now we're talking about the different types of rocks. We have the 3 groups. We have igneous, which means fiery, sedimentary, which is all about the ones that have settled to the bottom and have formed as they have been crushed down at the bottom. And then we have metamorphic rock, which has been something that's been changed by heat or pressure. Okay, so I'm going to ask you about some of the different rocks and see if you remember which one. Do you remember which one is full of air holes? It's full of air holes and it floats. Now remember I said if it floats, think about something else that floats and it's ice. And it has that word in there. It's pumice. Pumice. 4 points if you got pumice. Now which one I think you guys knew from Minecraft. It's black and shiny like glass, and Indians would make it into an arrowhead. If you said obsidian, you get 8 points. Okay, the next one. Most of the Earth's crust is made of this rock. If you said granite, you get 4 points. If not, I get granite. Now we're moving on to, I get the 4 points. Now we're moving on to the sedimentary rocks. So, let me ask you, which rock is, can be formed from mud or clay and it smells like that when it gets wet? I know it's tricky because you might be thinking slate, but it's not slate. It is shale. Shale is the muddy one, and it is 6 points. I hope me and Uni got those points. All right, what is the white fine-grained limestone rock that could be found in your classroom? If you said chalk, it is 7 points. All right. This is pebbles or cobbles cemented together, all different types cemented together. Conglomerate, 10 points. We almost got 10 points if they got that wrong. Did you get it right or wrong? Okay, now, sand that is pressed down under the ocean. Sandstone, 7 points. This is made from the shells of sea creatures, and sometimes it has like a greenish, grayish shade to it. If you said limestone, it's 8 points. Okay, one of the most beautiful rocks, and it is made for statues and buildings. If you said marble, you get 5 points. Okay. This began as shale, but then it completely changed to become a rock that you might be able to use as like a chalkboard. I almost said the word. If you said slate, you get 3 points. Okay? And let's see, did I cover all of those? I did. Okay, we finished our chapter 7, which is awesome. I hope you did well on that. And right now, I hope that you're doing well on your points, but I kind of hope that I'm winning right now. All right, we're on chapter 8. Who was the first man to make an orderly study of the sea? If you said Matthew Maury, you get 2 points. The scientific study of the ocean. Oceanography, you should have gotten that really fast. 4 points. We talk about the current, Humboldt, and Gulf Stream. Now we have 3 layers of the ocean. We have the shelf, the slope, and the floor. We're not going to go into all of those because we don't really have time for that. Okay. Which ones we said they appear to fly through the water, these fish? Remember, it's not fly fish. It is manta rays. Manta rays for 7 points. Which fish are known for both eyes on the same side of their head? You could have either said flatfish or flounder for 1 point. This group, they return to a freshwater stream where they're hatched to form their eggs. And it is salmon for 4 points. The largest fish. What is the largest fish? If you said the largest fish is a whale shark, you get 8 points. All right, and what is the man-eating shark? If you said a white shark, you get 4 points. Okay. Do you remember what is the largest animal that has ever lived? Did you say blue whale? If you said blue whale, you get 6 points. Okay. This is known for its ambergris in its intestines, which is gross, to make expensive perfumes. If you said sperm whale, you are correct, and you get 7 points. Okay, these have like a fingernail-like substance in as their teeth. If you said baleen whales or baleen, you get 10 points. Woo woo. Okay, this is the cutest white whale, Miss Monroe's boyfriend. If you said beluga whale, you get 7 points. Okay, what is the difference between a dolphin and a porpoise? Do you remember? Okay, the dolphin has the pointed snout and a porpoise has a blunt nose. And if you got that right, 8 points. Which whales are known for their hunting ability? If you said a killer whale, 5 points. How do whales and dolphins breathe? If you said they breathe through their blowholes, you get 4 points. Okay. Next. This has 1 tooth growing out of its head, a very long pointed tooth growing out of its head. It's a narwhal for 3 points. Okay, this has 8 long tentacles and a hard beak in its mouth. When it's threatened, it releases a inky smoke screen, jet propulsion, and it is an octopus, 2 points. Okay, this has 10 tentacles instead of 8. It is a squid. This is shaped like a bell or bowl and has many stinging tentacles. You could have said a jellyfish or a Japanese man of war for 7 points. Don't forget they use jet propulsion. That's the end of chapter 8. Now the majority of the test will be on chapter 9 because that's the one we most recently went over. Okay, who can tell me what's our star pictures that are in the sky? Constellations for 1 point. Hey, every point counts. Okay. Now, the 12 constellations, what do they make up? The zodiac for 4 points. Okay, what is our star group that is home to the sun and the earth? Our huge star group that we are in. If you said the Milky Way galaxy, you get 4 points. Okay. Everything God has created. God created who's the king of the universe? It's the universe for 6 points. Okay, the sun and the 8 planets. The sun and the 8 planets. What is this? This is our solar system for 7 points. Okay, now our planets. I told you to memorize those. My very earnest mother just served us Nutella. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and poor little Pluto, the dwarf planet. Okay, we are moving on. Which planet is the red planet? You should remember from all of our little creations. Was it Daniel that made the red planet? I believe so. It was Mars for 10 points. Woo, go Daniel. All right, what was our planet that we had that was known for with rings? With rings. For some reason, I think Jeremiah did this one. And this is worth 7 points if you said Saturn. What's the planet with life? Michael made this one. It is, obviously, Earth for 8 points. Okay, now I already asked you this, but our year is 365 and 1/4 days. We call this a year. Then we have our rotations. So remember, a revolution is 365 and 1/4 days. A rotation is just 24 hours. Where do we get our months from? You should remember the word moon for moons, and that is worth 5 points. Okay, our next one is where do we get our week from? What heavenly body? The answer is we don't get our heavenly body from anything. It's a trick question. It's designed by God. If you got that, it's worth 4 points. Okay, now our next question is, what is the scientific study of the stars? Hopefully you said astronomy, and that is worth 3 points. And then sorry, someone's at the door. Okay. Then what is our false belief that tells us we could know our future by studying the stars? If you said astrology, it's worth 2 points. Okay, now the next section we were talking about is all the constellations, and I'm sure you're familiar with them. But what is this makes up part of the constellation called the Great Bear. Do you remember when we did the Great Bear and the constellation that was in the Great Bear? I bet Daniel remembers because he was doing an awesome job with those constellations the other day. It is the Big Dipper, and that's worth 4 points. Now, in the Big Dipper, they have little pointer stars, which point you to the famous star in the Little Dipper. Do you remember what the famous star in the Little Dipper is that you should always be able to see? They even made songs up about this. If you said the North Star, it is 7 points. Now, we're going to go over this really quickly, but this is not going to be, this is important. We talked about this the other day. I'm going to use her as an example, okay? So, let's say that she is facing towards the North Star, okay? So you're looking at this right now. If she's facing the North Star right now, to her right, can you see her? Yeah, her right, when she's facing the right, this is what direction? Well, if you have, remember it's like you have a compass, but now it's placed down on the road. So you have facing forward, she's facing north to the North Star. To the right would be east, remember, never eat. And then to behind her would be S, soggy, or south. And then over here, it would be waffles or west. So if she's facing the north, then to the right it would be, remember, never eat soggy waffles. Or north, east, south, west. Okay, and you will need to know that. That's important. We went over all the different constellations, and so we're not going to take time to do that right now. How far is the sun from the earth? It is 93 million miles, and it's only worth 1 point, but I feel like that's a hard question. Okay, the sun is the closest star to the earth. And do you remember what the sun is made of? If you said hot glowing gases, you are correct. Or gases, it is worth 8 points. Don't look at the sun though because of the harmful rays. Now, this is a hard question. Do you remember the speed of light? 186,000 miles per second. Worth 4 points, so if you didn't get it, I got the 4 points, but at least it wasn't worth a ton. Okay. Now, hopefully you're paying attention. The sun, how do the planets stay in place? The planets are in place because of the strength of which body's gravity? The planets are in place because of the sun's gravity, and that's worth 6 points. And I know that was harder, but it's not the Earth that's is not keeping every planet in place, if that makes sense. We are not revolved around the Earth. The Earth is revolving around the sun. So the sun's gravity is what keeps us all in place. Okay, our next question is, what does it mean to soak up? It's like a dark color. If you're wearing a dark color on a hot day, what would this do? To soak up the light. It means to absorb it. Okay, if you have something light colored and it bounces back, what do we call the bouncing back part? It is reflection, and that's worth 10 points. You did talk about some famous guys that went to the moon, which is awesome because you just talked about that in history. The moon reflects the sun, and the moon is a satellite, and it's created by God. Now, the next part is how the moon changes shape. And this was interesting because a new moon, when it first is beginning, I wasn't here for this lesson, but a new moon looks like no moon. A new moon looks like no moon. And then as the moon changes position, then we see the complete picture of it, and that's called the full moon. Now, and you learned about this when you were with Miss Daly Ann, I believe. When you have the sun, and then you have the moon, and then you have the earth. If you have the sun here, then the moon in the middle, and then the earth over here, we can't see. It's going to look like a new moon. We won't be able to see the moon. And if you have the earth in the middle, then we can see it. How that works is, how that works is because you have, let's see, if you have the sun right here, and you have the earth over here, what happens is that the sun, remember the moon has no light on its own, so the sun is shining on the moon almost like a mirror. The light reflects back, and it reflects back this way. So you could see it here because it's like the sun is shining here and reflecting back. But to the earth, we just see a dark moon. So that would be your new moon. Then when you have the sun here, and then you have the earth in the middle, and you have the moon in this corner, the sun will shine at the moon, and then when the moon reflects, we get to see the man in the moon. You get to see the face of the moon because it's just showing your reflection back. And I know I took a little bit of time to do that, but I don't know if you guys covered all of that. Let me see. There's no life on the moon, or there's no air on the moon, no plants or animals on the moon. The last thing in your chapter was talking about the days of creation, which I said I already made a video on that, so I'm not going to re-go over that. Well, I guess that's the end of our game. Hopefully you did really well, and I hope that you blew me out of the water. But you can comment and tell me if you won or if you lost. If you had a hard time with this, you might want to just stop it and replay it and go over some of the things that you missed to restudy with yourself. I don't know if I'll always do a studying video like that, but I thought it would be a good guide, especially since we're almost done with our chapters. Well, actually, we are done. So tomorrow is our last day of science. Well, good luck. I hope you have a great rest of your day.